Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. For this installment, the tarot cards I'm using are the Gilded Tarot Royale by Ciro Marchetti. Is it Ciro? Yep. And then text by Barbara Moore. Where is the website? Is it at the bottom? Yeah. Social media links and all that good stuff is at the bottom. I don't remember what it is. I want to say it's like Hay House or something. Or is that US Games? Llewellyn? Should be right there. Is it Llewellyn. You saw it. Supportive Oracle cards. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website on the back here, rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A as an apple, use an umbrella. Freeze frame on that and check it out if you're interested. The dice I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana. I substitute 22 for 0 for the Fool. And then I use 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and I use a 4-sided dice to choose the element. This is where they came from. The dice shop and the website is mathartfun.com. Feel free to check that out if you are so interested. That being said, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. And with that out of the way, let's go on to your reading. Hello, Pisces. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Pisces? Don't give up on your success. Okay. Don't give up on your success. How much of this is going to go? Alright, so I'm excited about this, but let's go through the whole thing. Don't give up on your success. I keep getting that. And I feel like we're going to go a little bit farther with that in a minute. I actually feel like you have the foundation. It's just kind of like, how do I make it happen? Or is it like, are you not pushing it forward fully? Energy's starting a little slow. The Sun card. The Sun card keeps showing up for you in this reading. It showed up in literal cards and it's showing up on the dice, along with the Three of Wands. And I feel like this is something maybe you've tried to move forward before, but maybe did it just kind of like not fully actuate or something like that, not fully come into light? Something here you have the foundation for. And I feel like it either, one of two things. Either it's kind of, maybe it went through its cycle and it's kind of like not really in the forefront right now. Or maybe you just went so far with it and then you got involved in something else. It reminds me of like doing really good at a job and then situations change, people move, new people come into the situation and the dynamic shifts. So it's kind of like it was really good at one point, then things changed, whether I liked it or not, and then it just kind of went where it went. For some of you, for example, maybe it's a talent like something artistic, which that encompasses a lot of things, to like cooking, to singing, to drawing, to painting, whatever. You know what I mean? There's a million and one things, sculpture, all that stuff. Dancing. And maybe something you were really good at one point, or you were learning about, and you were feeling good about, but for some reason, something took your attention away from it. I'm not getting whether that's good or bad. I'm just feeling like, I don't get whether it was good or bad that it took your attention away, but I get there's something in your history that like you liked, or did good at. It could be something you were very strongly interested in and were starting to gather information about and just didn't move it into the next level. This is the success they're saying. Don't walk away from your success, because there's something there in your history. So I don't know if this is easily going to come forward in the sense of what it is. I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to click into it because your card comes up, the Pisces card, which is the moon. And I also get the Ace of Cups, which is another very compatible card for Pisces. Is this something that's kind of like maybe for some reason I just haven't been able to do for a while, but I do like it? And they're saying, you know, keep that in your possibilities. Keep that in the level of possibilities. Like, don't walk away from it. Because I feel like I've known people like that. I know one person that like they were very good at certain type of painting, and it doesn't have to be like everybody likes it. Like she would draw. She liked to draw caricatures, and she did them on wood in a certain way. Not everybody believed in her, but she loved it. I thought they were cute. I didn't see the problem. But some people kind of like accused her of wasting her time. I don't think that was wasting her time, but other people just weren't in the belief system of it, if they follow me. And I remember her just like finally just her life got busy. She couldn't do it as much, and then she just decided to get rid of everything. She sold it, gave it away, stuff like that. And then she just stopped doing it, from what I can tell. I haven't talked to her in a long time. Life changes, you know. But it's reminding me of this kind of like, don't let the world tell you can't do something. Don't hold yourself back. Possibilities are still there in one form or another, and it could even evolve to the next level. So if I'm looking at that situation, maybe that's what she did then, but these caricatures and how she did things, and that could have evolved to another level, but she kind of like, she let it go. Doesn't mean it can't, also doesn't mean it can't come back. Even if you are the same as this person and you gave or sold all this stuff away, you still have a chance to bring it back, and they're trying to say, whatever this is from the past, allow yourself the possibility, at least, of bringing it back. Because it's something that I feel like brings you a lot of happiness, but it might be also something that you keep very too much to yourself. To bring this forward again, it might feel like, you know, maybe at the moment you don't feel like that would easily come forward. It might have a couple obstacles, and those obstacles to you might feel very big. And you might be completely right. At the very moment, maybe they are big, but life has a way of changing. And I feel like they're saying there's an opportunity coming up. There's an opportunity coming up where you can have something, you can bring something back, something that you enjoy, something that you're good at, that maybe you have stepped away from for a while. And maybe somebody's telling you, oh, you can't do that for this reason or that. Maybe sometimes people say, oh, you're too old for that now. Like, I keep seeing like, you know how some adults like toys? I don't think that's a problem. I personally don't. So if there's something with toys, or like, I remember one person was doing toy animation, I would call it. Like, they would do that freeze frame animation with toys, and it was something like they had their toys, and that's something they did that made them really excited. They would make a story out, and they'd use their toys to act out the story in like this a slow frame or like still frame, if that makes sense. There's possibilities here. Even if somebody's like, oh, so-and-so, why do you have those toys? You know how old you are? Like, that's a bit ridiculous. Don't let people do that to you. Especially if it's for your own enjoyment. Things that other people might think are like beyond your age level, like finger painting is fun. I don't see why. I never thought of finger painting as having an age requirement, but some people do believe that finger painting has an age requirement. Some people can make very beautiful things with their fingers and doing paint. I don't see the problem, but don't let people impose their age requirements on things either. Keep that in mind. Okay, so as we keep going forward, there's a moment that's like, you're going to see somebody else doing this thing that you like. That seems to be coming forward. Because I get like, it's almost like I see myself like going to a craft fair and like, or something like that, and like seeing like, oh, look at that person does something that I used to do, or something that I really like. And I get this Six of Swords not as a bad thing, but kind of like, I'm letting my mind kind of germinate on it for a minute. And when this moment comes, it triggers those thoughts. This might be something you want to keep more to yourself if you don't feel other people around you are going to be supportive or encouraging with it. Even if you think, you know, they might, whatever. If you don't feel like you're going to get the support you're looking for, it might be something you want to keep to yourself. The challenge is when this moment comes in and you see like this trigger and it's reminding you of something you love, and you're like, oh, I'd love to do that. But you're not currently in that energy. The trick is to not hold back and be like, well, that's not for me. I can't have it. It's nice, but I can't have that. The trick is to not do that. What they're examine the situation with more truth. They want you to examine the situation with more truth instead, okay? So that came in really strong, so we're just going to go with that. So, like, examine it with truth in the sense of, like, if I was going to do it, what would I need? How would that need to, like, what would that look like? Don't shut it down like, oh, I can't, for whatever I can't. And again, this might be just something you working out on your own. If I was going to do that, how would that need to go? Examine the truth of, like, all right, I want to do that. What would I need to do? How would I need to do that? What space would I need? What tools would I need? Stuff like that. What type of time would I need to do it? When would I do it? Instead of giving yourself this, oh, well, I can't do that. No. For whatever reason. There's 1,000,001 of those. Instead, just allow yourself to go, if I was going to do that, what would I need to do that? How would that actually look? If I was actually just to do it, what would that look like? You know what I mean? Would I need a studio? Would I need certain tools? Would I need certain supplies? Would I need time to do it? You know, would I need somebody to do this for me while I did that? Would I need to cut down my hours at work to, like, you know, instead of doing 40 hours a week, would I need to do 30 or less? If I was honestly going to do this. Examine the truth of the situation, like that type of thing. They're saying that will empower you and it will open doors for you to have possibilities. I don't see anything wrong with that. I see, like, you have to be careful who you share that with if you're afraid that people are going to treat you negatively about it. Because I'm getting, if you do open the door to the possibility, if you're willing to, clearly it's up to you if you do or not, you have possibilities coming in. I feel like the natural progression of this, because I'm seeing it go into the community and then King of Pentacles, is I feel like if you give yourself, like, I'm going to examine the truth of it, and you're kind of like, well, say for example you need a studio, just for argument's sake, or you need some type of space, and you're just kind of like, you know what, maybe I'll just go see how much that is, or maybe I'll check it out online, or I'll start researching it here, just why not? You're going to attract somebody. Or it might be like, for example, say it was pottery, like then we can go down that studio thing. Say it's pottery. Maybe you really liked it at one point, you really loved doing it, and you're like, oh, there's this pottery studio, and they're a half hour away. I wonder what's going on there. Maybe I'll just stop in and see what's going on there. And maybe before you know it, you're talking to somebody, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, you know, on Sundays in the afternoon, there's like a 5-hour period we really could use somebody else's help. And you're like, really? And you're kind of like, well, what does this job entail? And maybe, who knows, that's how you get back into it. Maybe you get a job in that. It's a very small thing, but maybe you're doing something like that. Because I'm getting somebody will show up if you examine the truth. You seem to go a little deeper, and then you attract somebody, or somebody's looking for you, something like that. It brings in the world. A whole new phase is going to come in. It's not going to jumpstart. This is not a jumpstart. This is not a start-off running card. The King of Pentacles is kind of like, oh, you like this? Well, maybe you want to, like, it's like if you wanted to be a master baker, they're like, well, you know, maybe you can gather some of the supplies. You can hang out with me and gather some of the supplies. And then they start showing you, like, well, when we add the eggs in, we add them in at this, they have to be room temperature, and we add them in this way to get this effect. And they start telling you things. And they slowly but surely start adding you into the situation. And they start teaching you slowly this, slowly that. And you start creating something here. Somebody will come in, and I already talked to this, but this card's here, so I'll show it. And you might have a slow start back into the situation. I don't think this is a problem for you. I actually feel like I like it, because I feel like I'm not neat. I don't feel like I jumped in and was up to my neck all of a sudden. I feel like I'm just kind of like, it's kind of like walking on the beach and your feet are just getting a little bit wet. And you're like, I could go swimming, I guess, but I'm having fun just walking around, you know, getting my feet wet. That's making me happy. That's making me happy. And then slowly getting a little deeper and a little deeper and a little deeper on your terms. Kind of like walking to the beach, walking to the water, walking out to the beach, walking back into the water a little bit deeper. I feel like it's almost like a dance going back and forth. I'm getting a little bit better. And like I'm enjoying it a little bit more and a little bit more. And I'm seeing possibilities here. There will be a tipping point, because I feel like whatever this is, you are talented at it. Even if you don't realize it, you're going to figure it out as you keep moving forward. People are going to want you to be more connected. People are going to want to work with you. They like what you produce. They're really excited about it. They want to be a part of it. You're going to attract a lot of people. And there's going to be a tipping point where you're seeing all the rewards. You've got a lot of support, and people want you to move forward with them. And then if you choose to move forward with them, because this is like rewards, and this is the moving forward card, in my opinion. Is that the 3? That's the moving forward. Like the ship has come in. It's time to go forward. If you decide to do that, and I mentioned this in the beginning, you're going to get your sun card. You're going to get your wonderful moment, and it's going to be very inclusive. Even though it's down the road, if you choose this, the advice here is like, if you do choose it, remember to include yourself in the bounty as much as everybody else. Look out for yourself as much as you do for other people. Pisces, in my opinion, and I'm a Pisces, when they care about people, they kind of overextend themselves sometimes. Make sure you have your voice, and you make sure that people do for you as much as you do for them. I don't think you have to have an abacus out and you got to like 2 for me, 2 for you. I don't think it has to be like that. But make sure that people look out for your feelings, that they do things for you as much as you do for them. At least that they have the willingness to do so, something like that. Because I'm getting that Empress energy, kind of like, I feel like you're going to be very appreciative. I feel like that's going to be there. Make sure people appreciate you as much as you appreciate them. And gravitate towards that energy. If you keep going on this road, you will have people who want to take advantage of you. The way to help get around that, to where those people don't get the advantage on you like that, is like notice the people who literally appreciate you and do for you the way you do for them, and gravitate towards those people. Don't go into the, you got to pay your dues, Pisces, so it's going to be hard for you for the next year or two, but you got to do for me, and then after you've proven that I should give something to you, then I'll give something to you. Stay away from that. I'm telling you, that's a red flag the size of a football field. I'm just saying, don't go towards that. You have talent. You have very good things. You want people who are like, oh, you did this, Pisces? Well, let me do this for you. Oh, you did that for me, Pisces? Well, let me do this for you. You want that energy. Gravitate towards that energy. You'll do well. People who play this game with like, well, you got to pay your dues. No, don't go towards that. I'm telling you. If you give, 50 cents effort, they should be giving something equivalent to 50 cents back. If you're giving $20 effort, they should be giving $20 back. Again, you don't have to have an abacus to keep it like right on like that, but you should be able to like, does it feel like I give to them, they give me back? I give to them, they give me something back. There should be this flow of energy. This will create an exponential return for you, so you want that. You want to gravitate towards that. Don't play that game where somebody's like, oh, you got to stand on your head for 10 years before I'll even think about giving you something. Some people are like that. You got to bend yourself in a pretzel and show them that you can do all this and do all that before they'll even start giving you things. And it may be how they learned, but that's not for you. It may be literally how they got into the situation. It's not for you. I'm telling you, don't go that way. It's a red flag the size of a football field. I'm telling you. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.